This is the 5-Minute Youth Devotional Reading with Alex Sarria.
Love to God. SWOT, January 11th. I love you, Lord. You are my strength. Psalm 18:1. SWOT analysis is a methodology that studies how a company or a certain project is doing. The acronym comes from the 4 characteristics of that study: strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Analyzing these factors allows you to know the situation you're in. It's a very effective tool that is now used by different groups. When David wrote Psalm 18, he had just experienced a very complicated situation that almost cost him his life. I'm sure that as a thoughtful man, he stopped to analyze the circumstance in which he found himself. He had many weaknesses, starting with that passionate and visceral temperament that so often got him in trouble. His followers were outlaws and lived in dens and foxes and snakes, and death seemed to be what was in store for him. No one wants to lose his or her life, and David didn't want to either, so he meditated on his strengths. They did not stem from his personal condition, neither in that of his team, nor in their social economic situation, much less in their chances of emerging victorious from their dire circumstances, and he understood that. But nothing, absolutely nothing, can oppose us if we are on God's side. His strength is so immense that all adversaries are nullified. From that factor, the opportunities multiply because nothing is impossible for God. After the analysis came the verse, I love you, Lord. You are my strength. Why? Because David understood his great weakness, how powerless he was in the face of pressure, how little interest he aroused, and yet God insisted on associating with him. He understood that this association was not commercial for the Lord, but emotional. Love begets love. Understanding this not only generates that love, but also builds maximum trust in God's strength, made personal and opportune. David went so far as to exclaim, "The Lord lives. Praise to my rock. May the God of my salvation be exalted." Verse 46. God wants to be your partner no matter what the state of your spiritual business. The situation means little to him because his capital exceeds any deficits you may have. He just hopes that after meeting him, you will start to love him. When this happens, he will direct your life like a good leader. He will improve every detail of your existence. You will not stop having weaknesses, at least not on this earth. Threats against you won't completely disappear, but you will have peace of mind, knowing that you are supported by the best guarantee that has ever existed: a good reason to love. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If this was helpful for you, please share it with a friend. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Always remember this: walking with God is the greatest thing you could ever do. You are His priority. Make Him yours, and you will always live out your purpose. God bless.